Three-quarter time at Avalon Airport Oval. Here's how it started. A little shot from Mason Redman on Matt Hansen. Tippett came in, didn't like it. Nash Holmes, Jaden Laverty, and away we went from there.
Oh, look at Nash go. Yeah, look, it's magnificent. A real feeling. You could just start to feel it bubbling away late in that third quarter as Essendon made a charge and it exploded on three-quarter time. I don't think Redman has anything to worry about. Would not have bruised the grape with that little open hand touch. It was more a tickle than a punch, Chase.
And at three-quarter time, it's Werribee 12-15, 87. Essendon 11-5, 71. The Tigers led by 40 points at the 13-minute mark of the third term. Essendon came storming back into the game with 4 goals. Tom Wallace up to 19 possessions. Sotomaco has 20 for Werribee. Mason Redman outstanding in the third term with 9 possessions. Let's head down into the Werribee huddle and hear what Coach John Lamont has to say to his troops.
Right, Jones into the back half. Yep. Okay, a back rotation with 1 less in our on-ball rotation. Kick to handball ratio, not too bad, 39-30, but we probably needed to exit better out of our back half. So let's make sure when we're in that corridor this quarter, we're using our feet. Set it up with handball, finish it off with our kicking. When fatigue sets in, right, particularly you midfielders, you get a bit tired. Obviously the ground's heavy, fatigue sets in. You're not helping us folding back. It doesn't help us. As evidenced by their uncontested mark number. Have a look at it. It's higher, they get back into the game. We can't tackle as much, that dropped. And all of a sudden, they win the quarter. And we spoke about Essendon's a very capable side. We let the door open, didn't we? Okay, because we just dropped away from a few things that we weren't doing in the first half. So now we just got to recalibrate, get ourselves organised, get back to how we were playing in the first half. Hard at the footy, okay, set it up with handball. Don't over-possess. We're looking to kick, get the ball to the advantage of our forwards and make sure we're getting up on them. Team defence, guarding that corridor, not getting sucked out, carried around or sucked out wide. We're organised, head on a swivel, we're communicating. Are we right with that? We've got 30 minutes in front of us. Let's make sure we're playing hard, strong, disciplined play. Let's go.
So there's John Lamont, plenty of instructions for his team as we head down to Ab.
Matty, a much better third quarter. Master stroke throwing McKernan in the ruck. That definitely allowed you some more opportunity up forward.
Yeah, we recognised obviously clearances and our contest where it was probably poor the first half. So pushing him in, but then putting the onus on our mids to really win the ball in tight and get in forward, give us a chance.
What needs to be done for the boys to win the game here today?
Pretty similar to that quarter. Our contest work and clearance work needs to be good, but just want our players to keep taking the game on. It's really good to see some overlap, generating some really exciting inside 50s.
Well, best of luck in this final quarter.
Game very nicely poised. Essendon kicking 6 goals to 3 in that third term. That man, Mason Redman, with 9 possessions. Langford had 7 for the term as well. They both played a huge role, along with Sean McKernan.
Yeah, they were super. Redman starting on the wing, and they've got Polkinghorn, the skipper Coughlin, and Langford in there with McKernan in the middle of the ground. So really going with their better, more physical players to start off this fourth term.
Final term at Werribee 7's VFL match of the day, thanks to Peter Jackson. Dan Coughlin gets the first kick of the last term, inside 50. Wilson slides in. Coming hard was Nash Holmes in the other direction. Holmes now goes, lays a tackle on Sherlock. Umpire said that tackle just lingered. And Scott Sherlock, the Werribee vice-captain, will get the relieving free kick.
Expect tension still to be fairly high. Players having that niggle before, right on three-quarter time.
This game right up for grabs. Such a critical one for both these teams who are stuck in that middle of the ladder logjam right now. Could be a defining moment in both their seasons, and McKernan and Bruce will continue to go at it. The two big bulls. That contest has had a huge influence on the game. Clark, quick hands to Gribble. He was under pressure. Flips it over the top. Essendon players want to deliver it. Umpire wants to throw in.
You'd almost just say to McKernan, you're in the ruck for the whole quarter. We just need you of one massive effort. I know you're going to be a bit fatigued, but if we are to win this game, it's going to almost be on your shoulders to ruck for the whole quarter.
Here is McKernan at ground level. Sotomaco flips it out. Redman received from McKenna. Kicks towards Laverty at centre-half forward. One-on-one with Spate. Spate got the fist. Spills to Polkinghorn. Dribbles a kick inside 50. Francis read it quickest off the boot. Gives it to Willis. Willis, right foot snap. Drops short. And And it's marked at the top of the goal square by Jake Wilson.
Well, he had time and space. He could have almost run straightened up and made a certainty of a big let-off there by Essendon.
Sherlock will get boot to ball before the Essendon forwards can run him down. A number in the contest. And the man who had the last number in the deli queue, Jack Langford, takes it. Hands off to McKenna. Closest man to his defensive goal. Lex to switch it once again. And Jake Long, who's impressed today, both with and without the footy, sliding in. Take the mark is Holmes. Hands off McKenna. Really getting busy at the moment. The Irishman slips his kick inside 50. Numbers back. Losing it was Gribble and he was cannoned into. Michael off to Polkinghorn. Around the body. Gets it home. 2-goal ball game at Werribee.
Well, this has been a remarkable turnaround. Full credit to Essendon, the coaching staff as well. They made some changes, but it's up to the players to implement those changes with effort, and they certainly have done that. And a really good bit of play. That's probably the first time for the game we've seen them switch the play. Connor McKenna took the game on, took a little bit of leadership there just to pump the ball in there. It wasn't pretty, but they got the result.
It's a 10-point ball game. 3 minutes gone, final term. As you can see there, the last 5 of the game go to the Bombers after Werribee led it by 40 points. Yep. What can the Tigers come up with? Here's Cole Langford. Played a huge part in this second half.
Another clearance for Essendon.
Goes towards Francis, who's also got involved. Been really impressive, Aaron Francis. Wheels onto his left boot, keeps it low inside 50. It gets through traffic to Coughlin, who lines up from 25 out and misses.
Oh, skipper. He's missed one he would have liked to have kicked, but I love the work of Francis. We've seen him on a couple of occasions now when he's taken a mark, just wheel and go really quickly.
Sherlock short to Sotomarco and a 50-metre penalty.
Oh, that's
Light
almost
contact and Sherlock over the top. Wow. Dan Coughlin goes down.
Huge.
Now, did he take a dive or was he legitimately knocked over? Either way.
I'm going through Angus, I'm going through.
That's what Michael's saying. He's saying that Coughlin actually fell over and Sherlock fell over the top of
But
him.
I don't think Sherlock needed to make any contact at all. They got the 50-metre penalty. It would have taken Sotomarco all the way into the middle of the ground and released the pressure valve. And all of a sudden now, he missed one he would have liked to have kicked just moments ago. And the skipper, this is a huge kick.
So Coughlin to bring the Bombers back inside a goal. From 40 metres out, kick on its way, it's left again.
That's exactly where his last shot on goal went.
Wow, opportunity goes begging. Dan Coughlin with 2 behinds in this final term. The Bombers inch to within 8 points. Sherlock, again he goes short up the middle. Mark taken by Ben Spate. Spate will go wide towards Porter. McKernan there as well. Bruce arrives late. Francis at the front, gets it to Jake Long. Confronted by Clark, gives it off to Francis, who busts a tackle, takes on another, gets around Hibbert, has a bounce from the boundary line, and kicks one of the goals of the year! Aaron Francis with a beauty!
That is the goal of the Jace, I reckon. He's been thrown forward in the second half. That's his 3rd goal. Took on the tackler. I didn't know that he had that sort of leg speed about him, because when he put the accelerator down, he just burned him off. And to kick that from the boundary line, check side, extraordinary.
Aaron Francis with his 3rd goal. Is this the goal of the year? We've seen nothing better so far. The fend-off, runs around Hibbard, the check side from the boundary line, and he slots it, and it is a 2-point game.
And the leg speed from him was just outstanding. Brings it back to 2 points, and you'd have to say Essendon have all the momentum at the moment.
Margin hasn't been inside a kick since time on in the opening quarter, and that's when Essendon last led. Langford sends it inside 50. They might take the lead in a second. Michael, was he fallen into? He was.
Everything going their way now.
And Sam Michael will have a shot on goal to give Essendon their first lead since late in the opening quarter.
Well, we've had 3 centre bounces in this last quarter, and Essendon have won all 3 fairly convincingly, so they've just pumped it in there and allowed their forwards first look.
Inside 50s for the term, 6-0 in favour of the Bombers. They've had 21 possessions to 7 in the first 6 minutes.
Werribee just can't get their hands on the footy.
8 goals to 2 in the second half so far, and the Bombers have kicked 6 goals since the 17-minute mark of the third quarter. Sam Michael on a long run-up to give the Bombers back the lead. Kicked a goal in the third quarter, 45 out. Loved it as soon as it left the right boot. The Bombers remarkably have the lead. So from 40 points down, Essendon are off the canvas and right now have this game in their grasp.
Well, they've hit the front and they've done everything right in the second half of this game, but they've done all the hard work. They can't afford to take their foot off the throat because it is less than a goal, and we know Werribee, coached by John Lamont, they're going to come back at you.
So now the spotlight's on Werribee. Ben Mackay's gone into the ruck, Brownie. What can John Lamont and his side do to get the game back under their control?
Yeah, they need just to find a way to nullify Essendon's dominance in the centre clearances and start getting the ball inside 50. They haven't had inside 50 for the quarter.
McKernan and Mackay in the ruck. It's a mad scramble in the centre. Sotomaco bangs it on his boot, gets it back, and the skipper will get it deep inside 50 for the first time this quarter. So dark here at Avalon Airport Oval. Ball spills over the back. Here's Xavier. He's wrapped up by McNeese. Heppel takes Meredith for the line, and Werribee at least have it at their end of the field.
Sotomaco on his 50th game. He's been good today. The captain's just identified that they need to win the ascendancy in the middle, so he just forced it forward.
Kai and McKernan. Porter in there as well. Mountford coming through was Polkinghorne. Holmes puts his head over the football. He's wrapped up by Anderson. Can't get the arms free. Umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. Have a bounce 30 metres out from the Werribee goal. There's Nash Holmes, Brownie's new love child. The last one you got drafted. Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, look at that tackle.
Mountford dumped in that tackle. There he is on the bottom of that pack, Declan Mountford.
Well, they've certainly increased their physicality, Essendon. I said at half-time that Werribee were completely dominating them physically, and they've matched them and probably bettered them in this second half.
Porter, here's McKernan. He's kicked towards the 50. Peard came in late, big body on Ben Spate. Once again, they scramble.
There won't be too many easy, uncontested possessions for the remainder of this quarter. This is going to go right to the end of the wire, and it's certainly become a tough, inside, contested game.
Mackay, Anderson started so well, but gone out of the game. Holmes, a fumble, and that's all Sotomaco needed to just jump in there with Hansen as we head down to Ab.
Guys, Lockie Hansen is all rugged up on the bench. He is done for the day. I've just received confirmation purely for a management reason. There's no injury there.
Yeah, he's had such a rotten run. Chronic hip last year. He's had some concussion issues this year.
He might have been handy for them to throw forward because he did kick 3 goals.
Here's Mountford, kicks towards the goal square, and the big fella Bruce has gone forward for a rest. And from the top of the goal square, he can give Werribee the lead.
He's impressive. He's a big man, a massive man, and he's starting to really exert his physicality around. He just won that wrestle. That was just a genuine one-on-one wrestle, and he was too strong.
He had his breakout day against Box Hill, that game that we saw here about 4 or 5 weeks ago. We really stood up at this level, got some confidence, and now he puts the Tigers back in front. Werribee lead. So Braden Bruce with his second goal of the season. And really that day, it was his coming out parade. Yeah. He just looks a footballer now. He looks like he knows he belongs at this level.
And he'll continue to get better the more he plays, but he was a 4 and 5 possession player up until that game against Box Hill. Something clicked. He started to take some good, strong marks in the air and get involved around the grounds, and he's just got better and better.
So we argue at times of the importance of ruckman, but we've seen today in this competition, in this game, the big guys that have been dominating have had such a massive influence on both sides.
The game has been dominated by the ruckman, and it's swung the momentum of play. Whoever's got on front in the middle, this is a big bit of play. They've thrown Gagnon back into the ruck. We haven't seen him much rucking in the second half. They've given that job to McKernan and even Sammy Michael, but a really important period of play here.
James Polkinghorne getting some work on the bench. If you're just joining us, your timing is impeccable. We had 3 lead changes early in the contest when it was goal for goal. Essendon peeling off 7 in a row either side of 3/4 time. And they hit the front, and then Braden Bruce with that goal then. So 5 lead changes, and James Polkinghorne, who we just saw getting some work done, has joined us boundary side again. James, what a remarkable comeback. What did you put that down to in the third quarter? Where was the swing in momentum?
Yeah, look, at half-time we had a good look at the stoppages and we're getting outworked pretty convincingly there, so it came back to work rate at the stoppages, and that's where we sort of got the game back.
Throwing Sean McKernan into the ruck, that big presence certainly helped.
Yeah, very good tap ruckman, so he's getting his hands on it, and his follow-up after he taps it is also excellent, so he's very good.
You've shuffled the forward mix a lot, James, but today it seemed to have worked for you. Different guys at different times just playing key roles.
Yeah, I think that's the key, bit of unpredictability, and the guys are looking pretty dangerous down there, so it's working for us at the moment.
Mate, best of luck for the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you.
So Werribee lead it by 2 points, 12 minutes gone. Aaron Francis coming to the bench, just hobbling, looking a little bit sore after that last contest. You see him disappearing off the bottom of your screen. Sam Michael does the ruck work for the Bombers.
Might have got another knock to that corky that he brought into this game. He certainly was hobbling to suggest that he's a little bit sore there. So they're going to be working on a calf, so maybe a bit of cramp as well.
Had the calf issues, which saw him miss a lot of footy earlier on in the season as well.
It's been a high-intensity game, and he's played pretty high minutes as well for a guy that hasn't played much footy this year. So
15 possessions in 3 games. So from an Essendon perspective, a lot to like. Clearly his best game of the level so far.
I like him far more as a forward than a defender, but naturally for his development, they'd want to get him playing on both ends of the ground.
Peart, Langford, one of the men to bring them back in the contest. Laverde does the tackling. Spins through a couple. He's nailed at the bottom of this pack by a couple of Werribee defenders, including Ryan Clark. And the intensity in this game, it's amazing how the switch has been flicked since half-time.
There's been some big hits.
Langford, third man up, as has been custom. Peart playing the role of understudy to Nash Holmes in terms of clashing heads in the contest.
Feels a bit like an elimination final or something, doesn't it, really? These two teams just going at it and leaving it all on the table.
Well, in some respects it is, Jace, I suppose, with the winner to be in the 8 and the loser outside that very, very important line. Hansen and Nash Holmes, who once again finds himself at the bottom of a pack in an Essendon jumper. It feels like it's going to be a theme through his career. 16 possessions so far today for Nash Holmes. Can the Bombers find a go-ahead goal? Hansen the clearance. Down the line, a contest between Anderson and McKenna.
16 possessions, 3 wrestles, 1 elbow to the forehead and an all-out ball. It's been an outstanding afternoon.
And 28 minutes of praise out of the 7 special comments man, Campbell Brown.
It's the complete package.
It's James Polkinghorne ready to come back on. Sean McKernan as well. Onside Alex McLeod and Mason Redmond. So played 14 and a half minutes almost in this final term. Coughlin, Peart, long, high kick inside 50, tough one to mark. Hibbert stands underneath it, couldn't quite hang on. Muller in there to force a contest. Spate bangs it on his boot. Long's got to stand underneath it. Oh, that big collision between he and Porter. Polkinghorne at the back, links up with Morgan. McNeese, and that handball goes straight over the line and we'll have a throw in.
That was a massive contest there on the wing, just all players with eyes on the ball. That's what you love to see. They've all got back up, which is great to see, but Porter and Long.
Tick over the 15-minute mark. Seven's VFL match of the day. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you might be watching. Thanks to Peter Jackson. It's been a heck of a game. Newen got the tap.
They're just
kick in the back.
They're just getting rewarded a little bit now, Jace, because they're first to the contest. So
Chris Peart. Let's go low. Forward, and this man's made a big difference in the second half. Daniel Willis gets it and goes. Attacks the top of the goal square. Coming out to mark was Michael. Couldn't quite hang on. The back is Muller. He's wrapped up as well. Ball flips to Hibbert. He's taken in a tackle. Still alive for Holmes. Bangs it on the boot. And misses. Holmes.
The disposal count is quite extraordinary this last quarter. Essendon with 41 disposals, Werribee only 15. We are 15, nearly 16 minutes into this last quarter, and they've now had 17 disposals.
Get a couple more around the outer side. An awkward one to Hansen, who steps inside Peart. Goes outside on his left. Tidy kick. The mark's taken by Aaron Black, who's played an unfamiliar role today, much further up the field. It's really worked at times for Werribee. That kick doesn't. It's picked off by Polkinghorne. Not a lot to go to. Gives it over the top to Newen. The big man can run. Goes to 60. Chips to Laverde. Too much on the kick, and Jordan Jones cuts it off.
He probably didn't need to have that running bounce there, Newen. He could take his full 15 metres and chip that kick in. He just took his eyes off the play there to look down to when he bounced that footy and missed an easy target, so missed opportunity going forward.
Jones to Hibbard. Big pack on the outer side. Good strong mark taken by Ben Mackay, and how impressive have his hands been today.
Yeah, they've been good. He's faded out a little bit in the second half, but that was a great grab.
Coming from behind was Anderson. McNeese at the front stood tall. Flipped it to Freezer. Anderson goes again. Ball bounces past Peart, picked up by Spate. Inside 50 to a 2-on-1. Sotomaco's outnumbered, and now an opportunity for the Bombers to bust off half-back. Redmond was a nothing kick, was trying to put it out in the path of Eads, who's got speed to burn. If he can gather the football, he can't.
Yeah, they messed that up. They certainly messed that up. I would have liked to have seen Redmond continue to run and Eads break up the wing and allow him to kick that 40 or 50 metres and use his leg speed there. They end up almost doing nothing.
So the ball in neutral territory and almost a neutral scoreboard. Interesting to see here. We have Braden Bruce coming to the bench. So Sean McKernan absolutely skittled out of the ruck by Nick Meredith, who's done some good and some bad today. McKenna, who's been busy in the second half, bought some time with the Shepherd, tumbles a kick inside 50, too much on it for Laverde, and it will beat Campbell's man Nash Holmes over the boundary line and out of bounds, but a throw in the right part of the ground for the Bombers as they try and chase down this remarkable win, their 5th of the season. Both these teams have had very slow starts to winter, just one win in their past 4.
Yeah, as we see Essendon Eads and Kyle Langford come off and have their calves worked on as well, so obviously they're starting to cramp too. It's been a high-intensity game.
McKernan, a wonderful tap for Polkinghorne, but he just clipped Mountford high on the way through.
Draw's not out of the question either here, the way it's going.
So Declan Mountford, one of a number of early goal kickers for the Tigers, finds Aaron Black, who's had a quiet afternoon after coming to the game with 20 on the season, finds Gribble. Ben Mackay brought his man into the contest, almost took him out, but Gribble has it at half-back, and every possession counts right now. They retreat. Jake Wilson, another of Werribee's VFL representatives, shares it into defensive 50. And the Tigers try and find a way out. It beats Fordham. Help from Meredith, who was tackled and stripped without it. So, by the throw-in, in fact, so Scott Sherlock not able to keep it in.
How good is his tackling pressure?
Holding the footy call, so a win for the Bombers. Jake Long back in board to Peart, who 3 possessions to three-quarter time. This is his 6th touch of the final quarter. It's a poor one, though, and Vickers Willis sitting back chops it off for the Tigers, who elect to try and switch play and open things up with that 1-point lead.
Dribble to Sotomaco. To a 2-on-1. Will it spill for McFarlane? Good mark taken by Mackay. Smack bang centre wing. Tigers by a point to Black. Keeps it low inside 50. Langford with courage across the front of the contest. It spills to the back for McFarlane. Getting there was Heppel. Important hand in there. Langford taken down in a tackle by Xavier. Newen, Porter, Coughlin. And the Bombers survive. Willis has got to stand underneath it. Late attention from Meredith. Both go to ground. Sliding in was Fordham. He's taken down by Wallace, and it's over and out.
Outstanding football. Great work from Langford to get back in the hole. That's what I was very critical of Essendon doing in the second quarter. They weren't doing that enough.
Let's head down to Abs. An update on Aaron Francis, Ab.
He's just on the boundary, guys. Looks to be coming back on. So it was a left calf, but he's received work from the trainers and looks to be all good.
Just doing the little things much better in the second half. The spoil, the tackle from Wallace was really good too to just kill that contest.
Great ruck work from McKernan to Polkinghorne. That tackle just lingered, and it's going to come back to Polkinghorne again. McKernan just using his body strength to make something happen. James Polkinghorne with his 21st possession leads the way for the Bombers. Bold kick to the wing finds Kyle Langford, who's been everywhere in the second half. His 19th touch coming up. It's been that younger brigade of Redmond and Langford really giving them a spark. Kick wide. Good, strong mark once again from Daniel Willis. He's playing a heck of a second half as well. He goes inside 50. Newen at the front of the contest. Punched away from him. Sherlock to Spate. Kick floats wide and out of bounds on the full. It's going to be an Essendon free kick to Jake Long right in front of the interchange gates. As we into time on, final term, 21 minutes gone. point the difference.
Oh, no.
Long's kick misses the target of McLeod, who has to go back one-on-one with McFarlane. McFarlane takes possession, McLeod wraps him up. McKernan in there for support, and no harm done for the Bombers.
He about stuffed that back into the corridor, missing the target.
Umpire talking to Sean McKernan for dribbling the ball away. Long left it behind. Here's a chance for Mountford. Mountford kicks it long inside 50. Big pack of plays. Mackay got hands to it. At ground level, he's taken out of the contest by Freezer. Porter takes possession, gives it up. And Josh Freezer will kick it high. Standing underneath it, having to wait, was Holmes. He caught one fair square in the back.
He did. Yeah, Spieth just came in to try and create the contest, but what he did was he just nudged Holmes right out of the contest. He didn't give him a real chance to fly at the footy.
So Nash Holmes kicks towards half forward. McKernan sets himself, and up he goes. Takes the mark, hits the ground running. He's got Newen inside 50. He's got
he's selling
the big
candy
man
now.
steps around Sotomaco, runs to 52 metres, sets sail for home and just misses. Scores are level.
Oh, he's doing everything, McKernan, today. Forward, ruck, big, strong mark there. He just looked up, saw an open forward line, took off, sold some candy. Important point, though, scores level.
22 and a half minutes gone on Seven's VFL match of the day.
It's nearly the best 12-possession game I think I've ever seen from Sean McKernan. Back inside 50, Nash Holmes couldn't get the purchase on it. It skids through a number of hands. Francis back on the ground with a desperate tackle. It won't be rewarded. It creates the spill for Langford, who gives the Bombers back the lead.
Yeah, and he can hardly move. They've thrown him full forward, and he's got the cramp back now after laying that tackle, Francis. So he might have to come straight back to the boundary line and get him off, get a fresh man on.
Sixth lead change, third of the final quarter. Ben Mackay, Hempel cannon into. Holmes doesn't matter who he needs to take out to get the footy at the moment. Advantage paid, handoff to Redmond from the 50. Numbers back for the Tigers. Wilson takes the mark, and now it's Werribee who need to do the chasing. Sherlock, Fordham steps the tackle, gets the handball free, but they're still under siege, the Tigers. Sherlock once again dumped, wrenched by Francis.
Yeah, he's been enormous in the second half since they've thrown him forward. It's been great to see him kicking goals, taking marks, goal of the year contender, but it's this sort of stuff, the tackling and chasing, pressure he's put on when the game's in the balance, that has been the most impressive.
Almost a deliberate call here, and it will be.
Oh, wow.
Just came in with a fist in the contest, Aaron Black, but had no other intention but getting it out. So McKernan another possession and a whole one at that. And there is no one in the forward half of the ground here for the Tigers. So Josh Porter, he can't find an option quickly enough to take advantage. Chips it short and finds Fordham.
All the Werribee players had pushed down. Big turnover into the corridor. They had no one to go to.
Fordham off half-back. Goes to Meredith. Good strong mark from Nick Meredith. Centre wing. Eads read it beautifully. Drifted across. Intercepted it from Mountford. Langford. McKenna. The Bombers look to run it up the middle. Polkinghorne to McKenna. Arches the back. Runs away from Clark. Little chip kick over the top was clever. Will it sit for Holmes? Look out, coming the other way, Jones. He rides the bump. Kicks it back inside 50. McKenna takes the mark. He plays on. He runs to 20. Handballs over the top. And that is a brilliant team goal to the Bombers.
Nash Holmes.
Sam Michael kicks his third. A wonderful goal from Essendon. Bold enough, brave enough to run it down the middle.
Absolutely superb play there. What courage to take the game on from Connor McKenna as well. He got the give and go through the corridor. He ended up getting the ball back 10 metres from goal. He continued on. Outstanding work. Big goal.
There's all sorts of courage in football. The courage to run the ball down the field in that situation. Great, bold play from the Bombers, and they get rewarded.
Oh, McKenna was absolutely superb. He started the play, but Nash Holmes, he's come straight to the bench, winded from that contest. That set up the goal.
The Bombers with the goal plus advantage, and Connor McKenna an electric 21 possessions today. Sherlock. The Tigers need to make every post a winner, and they can't on this occasion. And all of a sudden, as we see Captain Michael Sotomaco on the bench, game 50 looked like being a celebration halfway through the third quarter, and right now it's turning into a bit of a nightmare. Jones and Willis, who's been enormous for the Bombers forward in this second half.
Well, it just goes to show you're never out of the contest in today's football. You can score really quickly if you get your structures right. And full credit to Essendon. They went in nearly 40 points down at one stage and looked gone for all money, but they've just continued to fight and do the basics really, really well. A couple of coaching changes to positions, but they've simply been superb.
Home fans wanted a high one on Ryan Clark there, not forthcoming. So the Bombers, what a second half it's been, and 4 goals to 1 in this final quarter. We've got a blood rule, so Sean McKernan, not the man you want off the ground if you're Matthew Egan. He's been unbelievable in this second half. Has 3 goals on the afternoon, but his work to go into the ruck and just create drive out of the centre of the ground's been superb. Casey Scorpions recording a comfortable 91-point win over North Ballarat at Eureka Stadium, but the story of the day is here at Avalon Airport Oval.
It certainly is, and McKernan, well, he's resurrected Essendon's day.
Clark, the clearing kick down the line. The Tigers need a score, and they need it quickly. They won't get one here as Ben Mackay, who kicked 3 goals early in the contest, came into the day with 7 marks for the season. He's had 6 today.
And probably 5 of those are contested too, Nates. He's been really, really good.
4 goals to 1 in this final term, Essendon's way.
Things are falling away for Werribee. They don't even have a ruckman anymore, so...
Michael uncontested, got it to the front. Scrapping at ground level is Michael Sotomarco, wrapped up by Sam Michael. 27.5 minutes gone. Michael again, uncontested. Got it down. Getting in hard and low was Nash Holmes.
Only knows one way. You can't help but love this man. Some of his attack on the ball and the body has just been absolutely first rate.
Youngster from Sale in the Gippsland under-18s. Clark soccers off the ground. Dangerous ball inside 50. McFarlane's got real leg speed. One-on-one with McLeod. He goes to ground. McLeod kept his feet. Got it to Heppel. Now Coughlin. Coughlin will look out wide. He's got Michael and Willis.
Just slot down if they... That was really smart bit of play there from Coughlin. He looked up. He didn't want to just bang it forward because the Werribee had the number, so he came laterally. Now they can take some time off the clock here.
Daniel Willis.
Dangerous.
Take Langford. He takes the mark. Gee, they've had some fine players in the second half, and those 2 players, Willis and Langford, both had a huge influence. This man too, Polkinghorne.
Polkinghorne's coming up for disposal number 23. Langford, who kicked it to him, had 22, and Wallace 21.
Polkinghorne goes high and long inside 50. Wilson will arrive from the side and take the mark. Got to go, Werribee. It's a 7-point game as we get over 29 minutes. Wilson to the defensive square and Tippett. Need to take the game on straight up the middle, you'd think. He goes towards Mackay, takes another mark. Gets it, goes. Sherlock steps inside a man. Swings it wide, but the handball's picked off. Here's McLeod to Redman. Steps inside Mackay. Looks at his options inside 50. It was touched off the boot. And now Jones to Hibbard. He kicks to the wing. And maybe a chance for Werribee.
In the right hands too, McFarlane, the speedster, ran his full 15, forward hand pass to Sotomarco, searching, hunting that victory in game number 50. Wants Bruce. He just had the hands in the back of McNeese though, and didn't need it with such a height advantage. That was always going to be his ball.
He had him cold, didn't he? The big man just...
And the 50-metre penalty to go with it as well.
For abuse.
So Ben McNeese...
He just needed to use his body rather than his hands there, because you're right, Nige, he has a height advantage. The kick was perfect to his favoured side, and free kick in 50, so that it releases the pressure valve here for Essendon.
With the 27-centimetre advantage, McNeese goes to McKenna, who has been absolutely electric in the second half. And it's been the max for the Bombers, and here's one of them. McKernan strides inside 50, nose taped, searching for a 4th and a knockout punch. Sean McKernan just brings it to the broadcast game time and time again.
He's been the best man on the ground. He's been the most influential man on the ground, and he's won Essendon this game. He's had a few people that he's brought along with him, but geez, it took him going into the middle and a rampaging Werribee midfield. He slowed them up. They gradually gained ascendancy. Not only that, but he's kicked goals. He's done the lot.
And they've been important goals all day. He kicked a goal to give them the lead early in the contest. That goal in the second quarter when they'd been nowhere for 20 minutes. A goal as part of that run late in the third quarter coming into time on, and he now kicks the sealer.
13 points the margin as we tick over 31 minutes. Sean McKernan with a goal in each quarter, back in the ruck, gets it down to Kyle Langford. Went looking for Polkinghorne. McKernan soccers off the ground. Coughlin bounces to his feet. Spirals a kick inside 50. Laverty one-on-one with Wilson. At ground level, Willis takes possession. He's wrapped up by Vickers-Willis. And now Jones steps inside Laverty. Nice kick. Releases Gribble. Gribble, kick towards half forward. He's got Black in space. Black will look up and see Bruce deep inside 50. Goes to Sotomaco, the handball at his feet. Just enough time for the Essendon tacklers to run him down. And now the opportunity for the Bombers to come back the other way.
McKernan had tackled him as well, so...
Langford to Eads. Bouncing ball, waits for it to sit and gets wrapped up by Hibbard. We'll have a bounce.
That handball from Black just had to hit the target there. It's been a few times today. He's given the handball, has just gone to the feet of the player on that occasion. Sotomaco could have run through 50 and had a shot.
Over the top of the contest came Polkinghorne. Quick hands to Coughlin. Inside 50, Sherlock goes back, keeps his feet.
Switches on.
Wins the football, goes to Gribble. Gribble to Black. He's got Anderson forward to the football if he gets it and goes. Spots him now. Will the kick get there? It will. On the bounce. McNeese to try and close. Anderson from 55. And there's the siren for the sort of win that you can build a season around. The Bombers trailed by 40 points at the 13-minute mark of the third term. And from that point onwards, they kicked 9 of the last 10 goals of the game to score a memorable 13-point win. Essendon, 16-10-106. Defeat Werribee, 13-15-93.
It was just a remarkable performance. Definitely a game of two halves. Werribee went in at half-time with the game. Everyone thought probably won. And the effort and the intensity and the hardness and physicality of Essendon after half-time gradually turned the game. And they thoroughly deserved this victory. As you can see, Sotomaco in his 50th game, the captain of Werribee. There'll be a lot of Werribee players absolutely stunned that they dropped this game today.
Extraordinary performance. Great win from the Bombers.
What a response, too, from some of their younger players as well. Kyle Langford, who was quiet in the first half, having played every AFL senior game so far this year. First time he's found himself back in the VFL. Outstanding in the second half. Let's head downstairs to Abby Holmes, who's got one of the winning Bombers.
Sean, a great accessory here, looking good for television, but talk us through that last quarter. You were 40 points down in the third. Talk us through what happened.
Yeah, I think he got half time, to be honest. We'll get smashed out of the centre, so we just needed to lift out the middle, and luckily we put the right guys in there, got going, and sort of picked it back, and then, yeah, I think we just felt like we could run over them. They were starting to roll over, so, yeah, it was a good finish by the boys. You
kicked that sealer in the last quarter, but let's also have a look at Aaron Francis' goal. Goal of the year contender, 5 minutes into that final quarter. Yeah, well, it was unbelievable. I think that's just showing what Aaron's capable of. Like, yeah, he's been playing pretty well all year down back, and swinging forward like that, I think it shows the kind of player he's going to be in the future. Well, congratulations on the win. I'll let you go and enjoy it with the boys. Thank you.
Wonderful performance from Sean McKernan. 13 possessions, as you mentioned during the call, Nudge, one of the most influential 13 possession games you could imagine. All 13 of those were contested, incidentally. He laid 5 tackles, kicked 4 goals, and just got them started in the third term. When at half-time, Brownie had mentioned, they just need to get physical, they need a presence, they've got to get into the game, and Sean McKernan did that. And a whole bunch of blokes jumped on his shoulders and he took them along for the ride.
Yeah, just the energy that he brought. Every time he kicked a goal, he was fist-pumping, screaming, "Come on, boys." He never obviously felt that they were out of the contest. And the turning point certainly was when he went into the middle and just started matching it physically with Bruce. And from that, a lot of the young guys, they just got their confidence and their game going.
18 hit-outs in the end as well, in a half of footy. We said Bruce was a dominant big man in the opening half, and we can see that John Lamont has the Werribee players in the centre of Avalon Airport Oval and debriefing, obviously, what was a real collapse from them in the end.
Yeah, it was. They fell right away, and we saw them panic towards the end of that game. Their forward structure went away from them. They didn't set up around the midfield as well as they had clinically in the first half. So he would no doubt be having stern words to his troops, saying that is an opportunity that's gone begging, and it could cost us a spot in the top 8.